Hi Pisces, this is your general tarot reading for Pisces Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of June. So Pisces, let's shuffle these cards, and while we're waiting on the right ones to come out just for you, we'll have a little talk about the energies that are going to be swimming around you this month. So we'll begin with the big Sagittarian moon, okay? That's happening for you in your house of career. Two cards came out there. The Ace of Swords, followed by the Page of Pentacles. And your career, it seems a few things are going to be happening. Firstly, for some of you, it could mark the end of one career and entering into a new one. And I wish you every success if that's you, Pisces. For others, it could just mean closing off a project, finishing up something within your career, and then having to present the results to a large group of people or to the public in some way. And for everybody else, there is this moment with this full moon that you are indeed presenting something of great importance out there for other people to see. And you're very inspired by whatever this is. You want people to see it and you want them to like it. And it's causing you a bit of worry. Well, will they like it? Will they see it? Will I be judged harshly? I'm under all this pressure to make this right, to make this happen. People are expecting good stuff from me. Can I produce the goods? Well, Pisces, you can. Of course you can, because this is part of a wonderful soul purpose for you, it seems, this full moon. Now the Nine of Pentacles came out there, followed by the Queen of Swords. Then the Four of Swords, the ever-optimistic Star of Hope. Yeah, I think you're starting to get that in a few of the readings now, aren't you, Pisces? The star looking into your future and realizing that you do have a big, bright future ahead of you and that there is a big purpose to everything that you're doing in your life now. The Four of Wands, it's coming up for almost everybody because in the Northern Hemisphere, June is traditionally the season to get married, and this is a wedding card, a marriage card, and a card of big declarations of love. So we'll get to that. Oh, this card came out and turned over. Judgment. All right, we're waiting on a few more cards, Pisces, and I'll just keep talking about the energies that you might feel this month. So counterbalancing this moon in your career is the sun, and the opposite side of things in your home life and in your family life, in the place where you have childhood memories also. So some of you might be feeling a bit fearful. Okay, some of you might be feeling extra fear when you're stepping out in the limelight, stepping out to present something to the public or to your bosses in some way. Because there might be this great sense of feeling that you don't have a solid foundation behind you in some way, that you don't have the solid underpinning that you need from support from home, perhaps, that will encourage you to move on. Now, I need to make this clear. I'm not saying you don't have loving people at home who do love and support you, but it's a deeper thing that's going on inside you, that's been brought up to be healed now by the sun and brought up to be communicated now by Gemini in the 4th house. If you find now that the Six of Cups, that you experience this thing of feeling rootless, without grounding, without a home, without people to call your own, without having your own tribe, let's say. You could be surrounded with people, but none of them are like you. None of them get you. None of them are on that same long frequency wavelength that you're on, Pisces. And this is up to be healed. It could actually be a very long-term thing that you've been experiencing. And it'll bring up the questions of, what is home to me now? Is it the four walls that we traditionally put up around us to keep us safe and to keep us protected and comfortable? Is home the traditional way that we always think of as home? You know, when you look at these Christmas adverts on TV and everybody's just nestled into each other with woolly socks and all cozy. Is that home? I don't know. Maybe it is. But really in this instance, it's more about a spiritual home. And where is that for you? What does that mean for you? And how can you find it again so that you can move on with this new sense of purpose, feeling secure? Now, Pisces, you are probably the sign of the zodiac who is in complete understanding of what it means to be free, limitless, and without boundaries. You revel in not having four walls to hem you in. You're beyond the Aquarius sense of revolution and freedom. You are beyond that. You are so free in your soul that there's no need for boundaries and walls, because Pisces, in this incarnation, your soul has seen and recognized that there is actually no separation between you, what's in your heart and soul, and what's in the heart and soul of the universe. Pisces' soul mission and soul connection has given you the understanding that you and the universe are inseparable. You are never divided, so you don't need the protection of four walls, because the universe is giving you all that you need. The universe is your home. There's a lovely quote there from Rumi. He says, the universe is not outside you. Look inside yourself. Everything that you want is already there. So I'm telling you this, Pisces, because if there are ever any moments where you have that sudden wave of panic, that you don't belong somewhere, that you don't belong to the people around you or the world in general, that you feel like somebody took a scissors and cut you out of it and you're displaced in some way, well, the truth of it is you're not. You're not. Because there was never, ever a severance. There was never any cord cut between you and the universe. You were always united. And in that, you are always home. Do you see where I'm going with that, Pisces? So I'm telling you this because it is something that might come up as we go through June. And remember that. It doesn't matter what happened in your childhood. It doesn't matter what's happening within the four walls that you live in now. The real sense and security that you get from home comes from knowing that the universe is your home. I probably couldn't say this to other signs because they might not resonate with something as long-reaching as that. But you are a long-reaching sign, Pisces, and to find some of the things that people take for granted in this life, you have to always look that bit further to find things such as security, etc., all the things that we've been talking about. So reconnect with that idea that wherever you stand, wherever you live, wherever you are, you're home, baby. And there's no place quite like home. I mean, you have to now be like E.T. and spend the month of June making that connection again. Phone home. Go back to the universe and touch base. So whatever it is now you're doing in the future with your sense of purpose, particularly in your career, that you don't lose your grounding because you're already home in whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Some other things, we're waiting on 3 more cards, Pisces. Some other things that are happening. Neptune now. This is important for you because Neptune is your ruler and he's retrograding there on the June 18th, but you'll feel it through the month. There might be a sudden realization that you and other people maybe aren't on the same wavelength, that you might have to recognize that other people might feel differently to you. And that's quite interesting because Mars is also retrograding in your 12th house, which means about becoming frustrated and angry about the connections that you have with other people, the sense of empathy that you have with other people. And I'm going to tie this in because Uranus hit your house of communications. Okay, here's how this might play out, Pisces. If you are now in your career trying to sell an idea, sell a product, or sell something to a group of people, or even just to clients, for example, you're trying to sell something and communicate it very, very clearly. What might happen in this month is that you might realize that you have to work that bit harder to discover what people actually genuinely want and need. And this is a good thing because it's going to teach you a great lesson. It's going to teach you that other people don't always feel how you feel. So, for example, if you were a therapist or a counselor to somebody and they arrived and they were talking about some traumatic event in their life that they needed you to help them with, they might tell you the original story and you might suddenly say, well, if that was me, I'd feel hurt. And you'd say, did you feel hurt? And they'd say, oh, yeah. And you'd say, if that was me, I would have felt abandoned. Did you feel abandoned? Yeah, I did. And you'll pour and overlay some of the things that you would be inclined to feel onto them. And the client or the people you're trying to sell something to would walk away not feeling that you've really listened to them, or that you've really understood their energy, or that you've really gotten what it is that they truly want and desire. So Pisces, who usually has no boundaries, in this case, you're going to have to draw a little boundary line between you and the people that you're trying to sell something to, promote something with, offer something to, even in your career. Even if it's something creative that you're doing and you have somebody in mind as you're trying to create it, set a boundary and don't imagine what they are or what they want, etc. Sit, listen, be quiet, take your feelings out of it and really, really consider and take in what the other person wants. And if you master this, Pisces, then you are on to a winner. Really, really. So when Mars is retrograding and Neptune retrograding, it might feel frustrating, but it's in an effort to get you to slow down so you recognize exactly the things I just spoke about there. In order to be a success, you have to now draw boundaries between you and another person, like a glass booth, so that your emotions and the things you're feeling aren't clouding the genuine emotions and needs of other people. And that's going to make you absolutely magic. It's going to make you powerful, because when you tie in now your ability to add your creativity on top of understanding what they genuinely want and need and giving that the Martian energy and full force, you're unstoppable. You'll be freaking unstoppable. You'll be a danger to them all out there in the workplace, and in whatever corner of the world you're trying to succeed in, you will be a danger now because you're developing these fabulous skills this month. What else do we have going on? There's the new moon in Gemini again happening in your 4th house. I get it. Some of you do have to switch up and change up where you're living, and I wish you the very best of luck with that. And like I said, for everybody else, it's more about knowing your roots now, knowing who you call family and what you call home, and putting a stake in that and saying, this is now my home. It now feels like family. It now feels like home. And you know, this is the wedding card is here, and this is the month of weddings, maybe around the 13th, 12th, 13th of June. Some of you could be making a real commitment, maybe through marriage or some long-term commitment, renewing your vows, something like that, to remind yourself or bring in this sense of family. Yeah, the whole thing of family and who you call family, and where you, like Scarlett O'Hara, you know, when she went back and said she went back to Tara because she knew she'd draw her energy from there. Yeah, you're drawing energy from a whole new sense of what it is to be family. And look at this card. Some of you could be welcoming new family members into your home, new little babies, new little pets even, for those of you who aren't welcoming new little lives, new little babies, or just a new family member. Maybe somebody's marrying into your family. So you've all got to make space now and welcome them in with big open arms. And I like that. And what else? We're waiting on 2 cards, Pisces. We're almost there. Mars going retrograde. There's a full moon then at the end of the month on the 28th of June happening in your 11th house. The house where you can see your big dreams, your big ideas happening for your future. And you're going to take them more seriously at the end of the month. And it's just a great time, Pisces. There's something very nice evolving for you this month that's ultimately designed to give you the security you need that acts like a springboard for your future. It's a springboard. And here is strength. One more card. Venus in Leo then on the 13th of June, yeah. Venus in Leo, things might get a little bit better in your work life too, your day-to-day tasks, whatever it is. So I know not all of you work, I get that, but in whatever it is you do on a day-to-day basis, the little systems that you have, your little rituals that you do in the day, they are going to be you're going to get a great sense of joy from them. I said little rituals, some of you might have little, I don't know, little magic rituals maybe that you might be doing around the 13th of June just to draw love towards you. You don't need any of that though, Pisces. Oh, you don't need any of that because the next card that came out was love and healing, the new love card. So no, you may put away all your magic stuff because love and new love essentially is coming into your life. And this is the family card. Yeah, love and family. This is the theme, definitely, Pisces. So at this point, you know what we do, I hope by now, Pisces. We are going to show the big grand overview of the cards. And let's begin. The first card, the Ace of Swords. So here's what we know. We know that there is a new project beginning at the start of the month. There are new ideas. And for some of you, new truths being handed to you. Something might be uncovered for you that opens things up a little bit, shakes things up, makes you a bit more creative, gets your mind and your ideas sparked so that you can move ahead. Possibly all the things that we just spent almost 15 minutes or more talking about. This is going to activate something in you and you're going to begin running with the energy of June, and I like that, and so you should. But there are new truths, and sometimes, we have to say this, Pisces, sometimes truths hurt. But we're prepared for that. You'll get over it. Whatever is being revealed to you at the very beginning of the month, you'll get over it because you're being handed a sword to cut through some illusions. Maybe other people giving you illusions, other people giving you what might not be the full truth, and now you're being offered in June the ability to see through that. And what is this new, new truth coming? It's coming in the form of your purpose. I think this is everything we've just been speaking about, Pisces. A new truth has been handed to you, a realization that you can now move forward and be creative with your sense of purpose in your life, with having this purpose and valuing it. Didn't I say at the very end of June you're going to start taking things far more seriously? And it is reflected here later in the cards. But you're beginning now, you're seeing this as a toy that you can play with. And look, you're presenting something. We said this, you're presenting something to the public, certainly. And you're holding it up there. See what he's doing? He's saying, look what I made. Look what I can do. Look what I did. It's new. It's cutting edge. Might be a bit different than you've ever seen before, but it's divinely inspired. What do you think, guys? Check this beauty out. And look at him, he's looking his very, very, very best as he's doing that, with a little flirtatious leg hanging out there too. So there's an element of confidence with this card, being a little bit shy about presenting what it is out there to the world, but at the same time still doing it. I like that, Pisces. I like that energy. In terms of your money and your finances, that card does suggest that you are now beginning like him, to see some good, solid, tangible rewards for the stuff that you're doing that brings in the coin. I love it. Good for you, Pisces. Good for you. But we did say that there might be a few steps backwards. So there is the Page and Noble one, taking a few steps backwards, as you will be doing, to go back and study your chosen field. To be super literal, this guy is in his field. He is outstanding in his field. Sorry about that, very, very bad. I won't do that anymore, I promise. But this is what you want to be. You want to be outstanding in your field. You want to be seen as somebody who is really sure of what they're doing. They know what they're doing and they're bringing quality. And you know that this can also bring in money. So money is a big thing. You're aiming towards something big in your career that's bringing in good money, and you're going to see it as long as you're prepared, as we said, Pisces, to take a few steps back so you can spend a bit of time alone, like this guy, working a little bit independently for a moment outside of any other influences, and getting that little thought thing going on where, how do I listen to people without overlaying my wants, needs and desires? How can I actually just tune into their energy alone? And by knowing how to do that, then I'm able to sell whatever it is to them and make money, you know, so that you can become this wonderful, independent, wise person that he is. He knows an awful lot about an awful lot, like you, Pisces, and now he's trying to turn the knowledge and the wisdom that he has into a money maker. And that's going to start showing now in June. It's going to start showing, if you don't mind taking a few steps backwards before it really kicks off, okay? Now, bookending, look, the first row we have little bookends. We begin with the sword, which is now sitting in the Queen's hands. And the Queen is somebody now that's trying to, like we said, take the heart out of something, take the emotions out of something, not trying to project their feelings onto something, just the simple facts, black and white. Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it this? Is it that? And she's there like the wise one, ready to cut through the middle of everything and judge it. And this is the energy that you're going to be bringing in, Pisces, this month. You're going to adopt her energy, which is about judging something in black and white terms and taking the heart and emotion out of it so that you know where to go. So it gives you more strength. It allows you then to become, you know, somebody who is really, really shit hot at this stuff. Yeah, it's about growth. It's about moving on. And as I'm reading this card and as I'm holding it here in my hand, I also do get the feeling that there are some of you really severing ties this month. And we do have a lot of energy in the work life, home life. Are you, like I said earlier, severing ties with an old job or an old way of doing things, an old way of working, or an old way of seeing your career? You're severing that. You're splitting up with something in work and starting all over again. And you're splitting up perhaps with an old way of seeing your family life. Something is ending. Now you would imagine that's quite a negative thing, but I don't get the sense that it is. I get the sense that this is you holding the celestial sword that came out, giving you the strength to sever ties with all the things in your childhood maybe that hurt you, maybe some family members that hurt you. cleaning it up, severing it once and for all, and letting it go, cutting the cord and cutting loose so you can free yourself and go back out to the universe, which is your real home. And they'll be expecting you because, like E.T., you'll have done the work and already phoned ahead. And also the same with your career. You're severing an old cord where you see, it's about winners and losers. You're severing the cord this month where you always thought you were going to be a loser in your career. And you're now cutting that like a pro, like her, in terms of black, white. That was then, this is now. I have a new purpose, I have a new family, I have a new future, and this is how it is. And I'm not even going to look back on the past, because the past conditioning that you had about your family and the past conditioning that you had about your rise to success may have been very unhealthy and may have locked you in to some sad experiences. I just get this feeling that it depleted your energy and made you feel like your future happiness with a family was impossible, or your future happiness with your career was impossible. She's coming in and she's going to cut that. Sometimes people fear her when they see her popping up, but they shouldn't, because she is the nasty bitch of the tarot. And she's only nasty to people who fear her. But when you really need somebody to come in with a big, shiny, sharp sword and sever, see them, she's a female. She knows what needs to be severed emotionally, because she represents the feminine aspect in all of us, male and female. And she's saying, no, something here, something emotional from the past and connected with your career, it needs to be severed, as only the feminine can do. When I speak about feminine, you know it's saying as only the feminine to do. I'm not saying women are better than men. It's not that. We all have masculine and feminine in us. And the feminine is usually the one who nurtures and bonds and brings things together. But at the same time, like a tiger or a lion, there's a point where she will snap and bite them so that they can move on, as only somebody who really understands the nature of real growth and nurturing can do. So for you, real growth and nurturing involves severing ties and taking some time out, Pisces, to recover after this and to get back in touch with that wonderful universe connection that you have. See, he's meditating and he's recovering. Some time to recover also for some of you. Yeah, okay. But recovering, why is that? Why am I coming back to that? Are some of you in recovering? Okay, but it is there. You're able to use this time in June to have peace, have calm, and recover. I mean, she came in with a sword and she severed huge ties. You're going to feel that psychologically. You're going to feel that happening. And it's like a great big umbilical cord to past hurts. It takes time to heal. And this is you taking that time to heal. And please do slow down and take that time to heal, Pisces. Because in doing this, your future opens up. You become more optimistic. And there is a moment where you say, I'm ready for my future. This is the card of Aquarius now. Mars is going retrograde in Aquarius in your 12th house. 12th house, a lot to do with sleep, rest, letting things go, of course. That's why they're here together. Mars going retrograde in Aquarius, giving you the opportunity to rest, recover, to sleep, and to rejuvenate, and come back into your future fighting fit. I love that. I love that. And fighting fit for what? To embrace new love. I really do feel that some of you are making a big declaration of love this month. And to what? It could be to yourself. You're declaring love to yourself for your life. You're in love with your life again this month, Pisces. That's certainly for sure. Certainly. And here's a moment of you. This is a scorpionic card. Now Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of happiness, is retrograding in Scorpio in the 9th house of higher wisdom, bigger connections. Yeah, so happiness does come from the wisdom that you've accumulated up until now. You're smart, Pisces, and you have gathered a lot of knowledge about some certain subject in particular. But you've also gathered great wisdom about maybe something religious too. But it's this wisdom, going back to the source of this wisdom, gives you happiness again. Going back to the house of the gods. Didn't we talk about this last month, Pisces, squaring off with the gods? And by the way, I hope you felt that. I hope you did feel in May that you were winning when you squared off with the gods. But you do still have to keep going back again. You're going back to the house of the gods again. And you're salvaging things. There seems to have been a bit of a fight or a wrestle or a tussle, definitely, between you and your beliefs, or you and the house of gods, let's say. And this month, you're going back again to maybe make peace, salvage something, see what can be rescued out of the rubble. And for some of you, it might be the same in your career. It might be the same in your family life. It might be the same for all the things now that you're letting go this month. You'll be looking back and seeing, is there anything you can salvage? Is there anybody that you can take with you into your future? And the answer is, of course, there is. This is also a great card of deep transformation. There's a bunch of stuff going to be called up this month for you, Pisces, and I really do believe a lot of it is to do with your childhood and that sense of home, everything we spoke about. And Gabriel here blowing the horn and saying to the things that we've hidden away in boxes, no, rise so that we can inspect you now. There's no hiding now, no hidden corners in your psyche. Bring it all up, put it out on the table, and let us see what stays now and what goes. And it's a great opportunity for you, Pisces, to let go of some very outmoded, outdated, and long-held beliefs. I get the sense too here, Pisces, that some of you are really letting go of some grief from the past. Maybe, we do experience this. This is life. This is how it works. Our lives are unfortunately touched by grief, by losing people. And there will be a moment in June where you might feel that all of these fears, some of these things that you're grieving for might be brought up. And even moments in your childhood that you hadn't thought about in a while, they'll be brought up and they'll be healed and they'll be fixed. And it will feel like somebody has removed an abscess from your psyche when this happens. So it's a very positive thing. It's a great healing. And if you see, you can see this on the spread up there, he's calling these things up, and rising up beneath that is healing. You see, healing is driving this. It begins with the abscess. See the big lance coming up there, something being cut out of your life, something being called up and reviewed, and let's call it up so we can see, what stays and what goes, and underneath it, it's all being driven by love, Pisces, and healing. And I think I've said this to you before, and I don't like saying this because I don't want ever to give anybody false hope, but something, maybe even physically in your life this month, is being up for review so that it can be healed or improved in some way. Okay? Now, we move on to this wonderful card, and this is the card of looking back into the past. Sixes are the sun, representing healing and beauty. And this is the card of nostalgia. Everything we're saying, Pisces, you're looking back in the past. And, it's like looking at an old movie or an old slideshow where you're able now, once the shitty things are removed and plucked out like weeds from your beautiful garden of remembrance, you're now able to see the nicer things and feel happier about that. I like that. I like that. And once this process happens, you're being given new life. I did say that some of you will be welcoming a new family member, and if it is a new baby, congratulations. I really mean that. Congratulations, and I wish them all the best of health, happiness, and abundance for their future. And for you, Pisces, this is a reignition of your life. Your purpose is being set on fire again. You see how you have 3 aces. You have 3 aces. This is a very fated month for you. Very fated. You're being healed. The sword and the cup represent healing. The ace represents being reignited to be pushed towards your future. And the Ace of Cups again also is about bringing new love. You know, and between the 2 aces, the Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups, you have strength. You have strength to get over the things that have held you back from the past. And you can really, really do this. You know, these are 2 cards of summoning up our fears and our demons so that they may be brought out to the surface and healed, which is the next card, and healed. Yeah, that's this month, Pisces. New love too, because you're so ignited and so sparked up this month, and also because Uranus hit your house of communication. You might find that you're meeting new people, and this might trigger a chain of events for you, which does bring in new love, and a new love for your life, certainly. And new love sitting beside this extra card, which is completion. It's a karmic card. You've completed something big this month, Pisces. Everything we've just spoken about, reconnecting with your universe, knowing that that's home, and cutting out stuff from the past, from your childhood, from the thing, everything we've spoken about. Once you burn this karma and purify it, you're back grounded. The Earth card, you're grounded, and your purpose becomes clear, and you feel completely connected again to your home, which is everything that's in your heart, everything that makes you happy, and everyone inside your little happy heart that makes you happy. And your family life in general is going to really, really take off and give you such great strength and happiness this month. Pisces, I love that. I got a great feeling for you this month. I know it seems like something big is happening, and I know Uranus hit you there in the 3rd house last month, and it might have made you feel a bit uneasy about speaking your truth and all that, and about talking to people about certain issues or things. But you know, the universe is driving this. This is the sword of truth. So allow it to happen. Keep talking, but keep speaking the truth. This is the last thing I'm going to say, Pisces. Everything you do from now on must come from a very honest, decent, and truthful place. And that's not for a moment to say that you're not any of those things, that you're not honest, decent, or truthful. But I mean from the Pisces, honest, deep, and truthful place. The one that's much deeper and far more connected. That's the place of real truth. It's not just in words. It's not just in selling something to somebody or being competent. Now it's about everything we speak about this month and last month is the same. Speak the beautiful Pisces truth, as deep and unconventional as it is. Bring out that spark of genius that we've spoken about. And don't fear it, because that's your soul happiness and purpose now. And it will bring you towards your ultimate reward, which is your happy ever after, your security. Pisces, I'm going to leave it at that. I loved that. And if this is the first time seeing my videos, then please do subscribe. Join me on Facebook, She Bear Tarot. I'm on Instagram and Twitter too. And do come back next month so that we can continue. You see, Pisces, that those of you who are staying with me month from month, you see how this is a journey. It's a process. And we have to unfold this process as we're going so that you get the most benefit from the energies that are thrown your way. And until then, Pisces, remember, I absolutely love you. And I'll send you a big kiss. Mwah. Love you, Pisces. See you next month.